Hi, this is Shira7. I'm back with Trayvon Martin, Symbolisms and Hidden Messages, Part 2. Well, just to review, we already discussed that Trayvon Martin's hoodie represented certain symbols of the cobra or snake or Naga's wisdom, power, knowledge. An ancient symbol of knowledge, power, and wisdom is, the snake. So his hoodie was really a very key part in this whole killing, case, trial, or whatever, and it's become his symbol, basically. So you have this hooded snake, cobra, Naga's symbol being represented by a young African-American youth who's obviously involved in some type of sacrifice as well. The symbolisms don't lie. Here's his symbol, which is a hoodie, a snake-like hood on a shirt. I mean, this is not coincidence. This is done purposely, that this became his symbol. And if we look back into ancient times, all around the world, different cultures have used the hooded snake as a representation of power or knowledge and spirituality. Even the ancient Egyptians designed their headdress to resemble a snake. If you pay attention, you can see the hooded snake or the hooded snake-like resemblance in their headdress. As you can see right here, they even go so far as to stripe it to give that texture that a snake does have. And then you can see at the very top, coming out of the third eye or forehead region, that kundalini energy, that knowledge, that power. So, and also you can see here how they took off his nose and tried to take the snake off as well at the top. And I don't think that was an accident, but hey. And so we all know by now that Trayvon Martin's father was or is a Freemason, and they are deeply rooted in, religious, ancient Egyptian, knowledge, magic, occult sciences. So he's very well aware of all the hidden symbolisms that, that everyone is talking about. And here we have a hooded figure that's has a cross, a crucifix, doing the as above, so below, with the triangle as well, Trayvon triangle. And then you can see on the head there's like a Merkaba sign. But this is ancient, occult knowledge from Freemasonry. And as you can see here, you have a hooded figure who was a child of a Freemason, and his mother is also an Eastern Star, which is like the female version of a Freemason. It's occult based as well. Trayvon Martin was born on February I think it was the 5th, 1995, and that's the year of the pig, which represents prosperity, happiness, wealth. It's a great year to be born, and so he was, headed towards, prosperity, happiness, wealth. He had parents that were spiritually awake and was teaching him, all the things that we should know as young kids. And then right here, where he was shot, you can see how his legs are kind of crossed and his hands are kind of like pulled out, kind of like in a pose, like a Christ Jesus pose, or like he was sacrificed. And this was obviously how they took the picture to show us. And he was also born in Florida. He died in Florida as well. And the name Florida means, flowering Easter or Easter. So we all know what Easter represents, the death of a Christ figure and the resurrection of a Christ figure as well. And then the year that he was killed, which was 2012, was surprisingly the year of the dragon, which is the flying serpent. So, and also all around the world you see dragons and serpents basically worshipped or held in high regard. But until you get to the Eurocentric and Christian and religious texts, they turn this dragon or snake into something evil. And this is like probably the first time we see this in history, where the snake is turned and the dragon is turned as something bad. They even depict Michael, standing on a dragon, or the devil or Satan holding his balance, his justice, which his symbol for balance is the symbol for justice as well. So he's taking justice in his own hands and slaying a serpent or dragon or devil, right? And then we'll look over here and see something similar. In this picture, it's obviously Eurocentric, and we'll see the winged lady above, or angel, and then we'll see the serpent below, trying to harm this other creature in the sky, or angel, or whatever you want to call it. Obviously, it has Christ-like because of the halo around the head. So, and then even in early America, when the states did not want to join, they used this symbolism, political cartoon, to represent join or die, which means, they're going to cut you up, separate you, so you can't unify, and so that you'll die, or your wisdom will die, which is basically, what they kind of did. But that's not, really relevant right now. But this is another symbolism that they use as a threat in early America. So then when we look in the Bible and Christian religion, and we see this Adam and Eve, Eve is tempted by the snake, and the snake, offers her this forbidden fruit or apple, which she takes and bites, and obviously becomes aware of duality, or that she's somehow different and knows something new. But they portray this as evil in the Bible and in Christianity. And the apple is also a symbol of knowledge, education, something that forbidden knowledge, something that humans have partaken in and have gained power from, but are also told that it was wrong in the first place. So it's kind of like there's someone there trying to control what we think, how we perceive certain symbols, and how we perceive certain things in the world. And it didn't come about until there was an issue of control. They wanted to control a large group of people without having to watch them all the time. So they implemented, stories, religion, and they instilled fear that if you don't do this, you'll be damned to hell. So they kind of like took that knowledge and twisted it and then turned it into fear. While in ancient Egypt, the snake was revered as knowledge, power. They wanted to teach everyone. They wanted everyone to know their true power. And our true power is just being realized with the shift in consciousness. And many people are kind of afraid of what that's going to bring about. I mean, if you look all around the world, snakes and serpents are held as something grand. And even in Mexico, you have the Mayan temple pyramid with these snake heads coming out of the bottom. And You can't tell me that every ancient culture in the whole entire world says that snakes and serpents and dragons are evil, and only one says they're evil, and when all the other ones say that they're knowledge and power and wisdom. And so I'm gonna say that they're wrong. So, but this was a symbol that they had to destroy in front of everyone to show that they're basically waging a spiritual war and sending this as a symbol that we are going to be targeting spiritually enlightened people, men, young boys, of this nature, because the power that and potential that certain people do have could change, the way the world works in the future. So, a lot of this is like, it's about black or white. It's about good and bad, good versus evil, but really it's about truth versus lies. Here we have a symbol from India, and this is two humans, one woman, one man, with snake bodies, and they're intertwined. Obviously, they're mating. And I think later on, this also became the symbol for the Cadius, and a lot of alchemy and Hermes symbolism is the same as well. But this became the symbol Cadius, where there was two snakes intertwined, and at the top are wings. So, in my theory, or all the things that I've read, has led to like the lower body has that Kundalini energy rising, and once it rises to a certain point, it turns into spiritual energy, which is indicated by the wings. Even here in ancient Egypt, it's also symbolized. Our lower bodies are transforming and rising into our spiritual bodies. So we are both, since we are on earth, we are both spiritual and physical creatures. And the reason that Christianity took these two symbols and separated them and put them against each other is because they wanted duality. They wanted to put others against others so that they can control and make sure that people were always going to be at war. So here we go. 2013 is the year of the snake, and the year that the trial was. Between Trayvon Martin's death and the date that George Zimmerman got off was 503 days. So that's a very long time. And they chose the year of the snake for a reason. And of course, we remember Trayvon Martin was born in the year of the pig. So that's symbolic of they want to destroy prosperous, wealthy, happy, childlike, spiritually enlightened young men. And we all know George Zimmerman. He was born on October 5th in Virginia. And I already told you how that they want to try to make him look or seem like a Christ figure by using his certain names. George Zimmerman. So Virginia is like virgin. He was born October 5th, which is the sign of Libra, which is the scales like Michael's holding here. And we all know that George Zimmerman's middle name is Michael. And see here again how they separated the angel from the devil, or I mean not the devil, but the serpent, instead of them being one and rising above certain things in themselves. So here's a review of what Zimmerman's name mean if you haven't seen my first video. I'll put the link in the description box. But Zimmerman is derived from a German last name, which means carpenter. It's also of Jewish descent. And then the meaning of George is earth worker. So, here you're sent on earth to do this thing, right? Michael, of course, means who is like God. So basically, they've given him the authority to judge, other people, being a Libra in this situation. But they forgot that the true Christ figure was Heru from ancient Egypt. And you see Heru right here feeding off of Aset. And he has the little snake Nagas on his head. This was the original Mary, which is Aset. And do you see how the Eurocentrics gave her the little veil as well to show the Nagas symbolism, but still they tried to deny that. But so what we're seeing here is one is trying to be replaced by the other. They're trying to erase this from the memory. I mean, if you think about it, why would they make Jesus or Jesus look like a Greek god or Zeus when he was obviously born in Egypt? So why would he have blue eyes or blonde hair and pale skin? I mean, that doesn't make any sense. But as you can see here, if you can read this caption on the bottom, some Christian wrote this, and you can see how they view the serpent. So really, when you're saying Jesus, you're basically worshiping Zeus. And in my opinion, the reason that they changed the Z to a J is because this planet for Zeus is Jupiter. So, why not combine? And then, they try to take all of the credit away from Egyptians and Africans and whatnot. But in every trial, in every case, in every big hoopla in the media, there's always that hoax rumor. Oh, Trayvon, he didn't die. His older brother is really Trayvon. And they took pictures of him when he was younger, and it's not real. But in this case, it is real, and I found other pictures of him and his brother together, so that we could debunk that real quick. Here's the picture coming up. This is him, his brother, his mother. So we know that rumor is false. And people will try to discredit every, aspect of Trayvon Martin and his family. I see both sides, black, white, Hispanic. All the people in the world, they're angry that was unjust. Even, this plan might have backfired in the media's eyes. So to me, this is just a giant chess game, and that was one move. The next move will be on the part of probably someone else, sending a symbol back to these people that sent the symbol to us. So I would say the next big thing, it might not be televised. It might be televised. So this is not a hoax, and it's all a big chess game. And I just want to make sure that we all know that we shouldn't get very upset. I mean, if you think about it, a lot of the elite, African Americans, Freemasons, and whatnot, are not showing their anger publicly. They're doing it in their own way, spiritually. I'm sure they're going to come out creatively and come back at this situation. So just keep an eye out for that as well. So this is Trayvon Martin's grave, and you can see he was born in February and he was killed in February. Born in the Aquarius and died in the Pisces, if you can think about that for a second. So I'm going to have my daughter Layla help me review. So Layla, say hi.
Hi.
This is my 5-year-old daughter. She was going to help me finish this video. So, Layla, what does the symbol of the apple represent? Okay, well, what does the symbol of the snake represent?
Wisdom.
And
Truth.
and what does the symbol of the apple represent?
Truth and knowledge.
Knowledge, that's correct. And why do Egyptians wear the snake on their head in ancient Egypt?
Because they're same thing. Power and wisdom.
That's right. So, I urge everyone to teach their kids and help them learn, because it's going to be more of a spiritual and knowledgeable war coming soon. It's about knowledge now. So teach your children and get them involved.